Well, something happened yesterday. I wonder what it could have been. What is up, Finn fans? Giving you an update on the injuries like I normally do on these Saturdays. Also, yes, Odell Beckham was released by the Miami Dolphins. I put it in the community tab. If you don't know what the community tab is, maybe I'll show you real quick what the community tab is, because I feel like some of you guys and girls are like, hey, Doug. And I'm like, I know. So real quick, let me just help you out here. Come down here. Look at this right here. Right here. Click on that. There it is. I posted it. Miami Dolphins mutually part ways with Odell Beckham. Yeah, I normally post, what would happen to film breakdown tomorrow. Like I asked you guys, like what you would like to see in a film breakdown. This is if you don't have Twitter, come here. And if there's breaking news and I don't have time to get and make a video, I post it here. Also, I'm going to start doing this for the members. If you're a member, come here and I'm going to start putting videos up before I release them. So you're going to start seeing some of the videos already have views on them and comments. And you're like, but wait, it came out at like 8 o'clock. Nope. If you're a member, you're going to see them earlier. Go to the community tab. There's also the membership tab. It'll be there as well. And also there's the store and all. There's so many other things. Just explore the homepage if you want to. If not, that's fine. So yeah, let's jump into this Mamma Jam real quick though. Sorry, English. I got to shout out today's sponsor and Clean the World. Clean the World, Sean Sleipler. I talk about him nonstop. Good friend of mine. Put together a fantastic multiple organizations that are out to help people. And whether it's a third world country, victims of natural disaster, the homeless, just people in need in general, he helps them with multiple different avenues that he has, whether it's shower stations, these kits he puts together for people that have the soap in there that he repurposes and cleans. And he's just a great human being. Go check him out, cleantheworld.org. Link is in the description. So yes, the Miami Dolphins moved on from Odell Beckham Jr. This is what Mike McDaniel had to say. He said, conversations led up to determining it was best for both parties. We thought it was a good time to go in that direction. He's a professional that has diligently chopped wood. I know his expectations. When you communicate transparently, I know where he's at. This is best for both parties. I'm assuming that means that he probably wants more of the passes. They asked him, did Odell ask for a release? He says it was just our professional communication. They asked him essentially, was Beckham's practice absence excused on Wednesday and Thursday? McDaniel didn't want to talk about that. So essentially, it's a mutual parting of ways. They sat down, had a conversation, and they came to the understanding that, hey, it's not working out here after being with the team for how many months. And he's Vio con Dios. Now, I'm not upset about it, to be honest with you. We paid him like a bare minimum. I think we paid him like $2 million. It's not like the Fuller situation. It's not like the Byron Jones situation where they were getting way more money. It was like a bare minimum, like $2 million. Let me give you the exact number. But I know it was like nothing. It was 1 year, $3 million. And he's not getting all that $3 million. The cap hit was $2.1 million, so it was nothing. And he's not getting all that $2.1 million because they didn't play all the games, and he's not going to play all the games. It's nothing. It don't bother me at all. It doesn't. Brought him in. I was like, hey, really good. If he could do anything like he did against Baltimore, where I saw him open multiple times. But again, when you have a mobile quarterback, receivers tend to not like playing for mobile quarterbacks, and I'm not saying that they won't or it sucks, but because pocket quarterbacks will look to throw the ball, whereas mobile quarterbacks, if you're not open right away, they're going to run, and then you kind of lose out on the yardage. And you saw that with Odell with the Ravens last year. He was open a bunch of times, but Lamar used his best ability, which is his legs. So I thought, hey, it might really work here. But, Malik Washington's really taken off. So, he took a back seat, became the fourth receiver. And he's probably like, I want to see what I could do in the playoffs. I want to see what I could do with another contender. And they're probably like, all right, goodbye. So he's gone. I don't care. And that is the big reason why I didn't make a full-fledged video about it yesterday and I put it in the community tab, because it's not that. It's not breaking news. They didn't release Tyreek Hill. They didn't announce Bradley Chubb is going to be activated, which I'm going to talk about in a few seconds. They didn't, do anything crazy drastic for me to be like, oh, I need to talk about this. They, mutually parted ways with Odell, which who cares? So let's talk about the injuries on this team. So the Dolphins listed tackle Teron Armstead as doubtful and right tackle Kendall Lamb as questionable. McDaniel said he was optimistic Lamb will play Sunday pending how Friday's practice went. From what I'm hearing, he's probably going to play. Lamb said he got through practice without any setbacks. Could he play at the standards he's expected to with the back injury? It wouldn't be the easiest thing, he said, adding that he might take a shot and see how it feels. At left tackle, Patrick Pohl is expected to replace Armstead, who the Jets game after the 5 snaps because of the knee injury that was bothering him for weeks. Jackson Carman could fill in a right tackle if Lamb is unable to play. Who's Jackson Carman? Let's find out who Jackson Carman is. He's with the Bengals. I think we picked him up, claimed him. He was with the Bengals. He played college football at Clemson, was drafted by the Cincinnati Bengals in the second round of 2021, and the Dolphins picked him up. So picked him up a while ago. He's been on the practice squad for a hot minute. So there's that. Besides Lamb, 4 other players were listed as questionable: linebacker Bradley Chubb, Cameron Good, who are on the physically unable to perform list, long snapper Blake Ferguson, who's on the non-football injury list. I still don't know what's going on with him, and receiver Grant Dubois, who is on injured reserve. McDaniel suggested that Chubb's return from the December 31st knee injury is more likely next week than this week. Friday was day 11 of the 21-day practice window for Good, Chubb, and Ferguson. He said, and I quote, "I'm more ready for the next week, but we'll see how it plays out." It's not about if you're ready. It's about if he's ready. Now, I get not wanting to push him out there, and I get not wanting to rush him out there because, God forbid, the injury is, he can get, we found out it wasn't just an ACL, it was an ACL, PCL, and MCL. I get that, but we don't win tomorrow. He's not coming back. He's not coming back. Tyreek Hill will probably get surgery on his wrist. They'll probably release Calais Campbell, let him try to find a team to win a championship with. Like, I'm telling you, these are the dominoes that are going to fall if we lose. And you might think, wow, Doug, you're really sounding like the sky's falling and being over dramatic. No, I am telling you right now, if the Dolphins lose tomorrow, their season is over. It's bad enough, like, if you lose to the 49ers, you have like the slimmest chance because it's an NFC team. If you lose to the Texans, it's over. You can go 9-8, that's all fine and dandy, but if you lose to the Texans, your chances of making the playoffs, which is already like 19%, will be down to like 0.5. Can't lose tomorrow. So if they do lose tomorrow, you're going to see a lot of players who are dealing with nagging injuries like Emmanuel Ogbah with his torn bicep and all that stuff. Just call it a season. And you're going to see a big youth movement for the last 3 games of the season. Pretty much. Mike McDaniel said Dubois is ready to play after an early season shoulder injury, but he wasn't sure if he'd be activated this weekend. Receiver D. Estridge went to the IR after getting that injury. Not IR, but he's out dealing with an injury. Corey Kraft didn't play last week, said, "I'm excited to potentially have an opportunity. We'll see what happens, especially with Odell not being out there. He'll probably get more of a chance." Running back Raheem Mostert, who missed last Sunday's game with a hip injury, doesn't have an injury designation and will play Sunday. Several other dealing with injuries: receiver Hill, Waddle, Alec Ingold, and linebacker Jordan Brooks all will play on Sunday. Defensive lineman Calais Campbell wants to play as much as he can, but the team will continue to monitor his snaps because of his age. He played more than 60% of the snaps against the Jets after falling under that threshold 4 weeks in a row. Kind of need him out there, being that, we're kind of sucking wind on that side, on that front. A week after he wasn't used in the goal line sequence in Green Bay, Hill played a season-high 70 of the Dolphins' 72 snaps against the Jets. He played more than 90% of the offensive snaps only once before the season in the 30-27 loss at Buffalo when he played 59 of 61. I feel like he can do it, he says. I trained myself the whole entire offseason just for the moment like that. I want to be the player that can stay in the game and motion all across the field, run all the way down the field, and continue to play. That's the thing that always drove me nuts. And again, if that's a McDaniel thing, he needs to stop doing it, is the fact that, like, he's not in on critical downs. And I noticed that against, who did we play? I think we were home. I noticed it against, was it the Titans night game? I could have swore it was a day game. Where it's like he ran like a 5-yard out route and he was on the sideline afterwards. I'm like, why? What is going on? Why you keep taking him out? He's our best player. So yeah, use him as much as possible. Miami's 0-4 and has been outscored by 58 points in its 4 games against teams currently in the playoff position. 2 losses to Buffalo, a loss to Green Bay, and a loss to Seattle. If you're looking for common themes in those losses, run defense has been the biggest shortcoming. Seattle ran for 100 yards on 4.3 per against Miami. Green Bay rushed for 114 with 4.6. Bills ran for 108 and 94. In their 2 wins against the Dolphins this year. On the flip side, Miami ran very well in both games against Buffalo in the season, but poorly against Seattle and Green Bay. Well, to me, they ran poorly against Seattle because we didn't have Tua in there, so they were just focused on shutting down the run. Green Bay, the offensive line just, I'm telling you, go back and watch the film, the offensive line was getting bullied. Earlier this season, defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver warned reporters to not sleep on Elijah Campbell. Campbell has begun receiving some defensive snaps. 12 of the past 2 games, he's usually plays along Javon Holland and Jordan Poyer. There are a few packages as I'm in. He said it's all about the game plan that week and what looks we're getting. I feel I've earned a spot to play, but we have so many talented players. Overall, no surprises when it comes to who's playing and who's not playing. I wanted Bradley Chubb to be activated. I wanted Cameron Good to be activated because we need them, especially this week. But that's just Mike McDaniel's MO. He is overly cautious. And the fact that he says, I'm more ready for the next week, but we'll see how it plays. What does that mean, I'm more ready? It's not about if you're more ready. If I'm the head coach and Bradley Chubb comes up to me and says, Coach, I'm good. I want to play. And I look at the training staff and I say, can he play? And they're like, yeah, he could play. He's perfectly fine. Then I looked at his doctor. I contact his doctor and I'm like, hey, it's been this long since he had an MCL, PCL, and ACL injury. Am I rushing him back too soon? And they say to me, no, he is good to go. He's fully healed. If he can do this, this, and that, which I've seen him do on the practice field, he is good. And I look at Chubb again and I say, hey, are you sure you're good? And he says, yeah, Coach, I'm good. Let's do this. I'm activating him. Like, that's one thing like about Mike McDaniel drives me nuts. It's like, he's like overly cautious. And I get it at points, especially like with Teron Armstead. But like if and I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if all 3 people, Chubb and his medical professionals and the trainers are all telling McDaniel, oh, he's good, he's good, he's good. I don't know what that is. But like the fact that he came out and he says, I'm more ready for next week, that bothered me. I don't know why so much. Maybe I'm just getting real testy with this season because of how much expectations we had going into the season and kind of where the season ending up. I don't know. Again, if he could play, if he's healthy, and if everyone said he can play, I'm playing him. Because you lose tomorrow, your season's over, and it don't matter. You're not going to play Chubb for the last 3 games of the season if it don't mean anything. So we'll see. We will see what happens, but I will see you guys tomorrow, 1 o'clock here on the channel. But other than that, like usual, stay classy. Fins up.